Hey guys, I'm Ryan Strickland, owner at Pinnacle Automotive, and today we got a project that we're working on. We are doing a Toytec Boss 3-inch lift kit on this Lexus GX 470 behind me. A little bit about the lift kit. These struts come completely assembled and give you the option to adjust the height on it while it's on the vehicle using this spanner wrench, and you can adjust this collar right here clockwise or counterclockwise to give you a taller stance or a lower stance. This kit comes with a sway bar relocation bracket used for the extra clearance for the lift. On the rear, we're using Toytec Boss monotube shocks. We're using the Toytec Superflex heavy duty springs. These give you a more heavy duty load capacity for anybody who's doing any kind of camping, maybe pulling a smaller trailer. It'll give you that extra stiffness so the rear of the vehicle doesn't squat while you have an extra load on the rear. So we'll get to it and show you how it's done. Also, what we're installing is a set of 17x8 level 8 MK6 wheels in gunmetal color, wrapped in a set of 285 70 17-inch Toyo Open Country AT2s. This is a great all-terrain selection for a tire that gives you good highway performance and off-road use and capabilities as well. So, upon removal of the factory wheels, we got to the wheel lug nut key and found that the pattern in there was broken. So we had to kind of come up with a method. This is a 19mm 12-point socket. This is just a throwaway cheap extension. And we are going to hammer this on there. Voila, comes right off, just like that. Since this is 1/2-inch drive, take a 3/8 extension and take a hammer and you just hit the head of the extension and this old lug nut will pop right off. These vehicles, they come factory with a air suspension airbag instead of a coil spring from the factory. Now this vehicle already had the coil spring conversion for the airbag, so originally the airbag will fit right here, but this one was purchased and already had the coil spring conversion on it. Now this is a factory ride height coil spring, and I've done plenty of these before because the airbags will start to leak, and it's just sometimes more cost effective to just do a complete air spring conversion. Now this is the air spring compressor for the air suspension, which we will pull this off. This line comes all the way across here to the passenger side, which someone didn't even zip tie this up, but we're just going to remove all these lines. We're going to lower the whole differential down, and we're going to remove these factory height springs and install the lift springs, as well as the shocks right here and right back here. And then we'll just move on to the front. All right, so now that we have the air compressor done and out of the way, the next step that we are going to do is remove the sway bar end link, disconnect this connector, and remove this complete shock out of the way, and we'll do the same for the other side. And what I'll tell you on mine, what I did was took a hammer and kind of beat this in a little bit so to get to the bolt or the nut a little easier. So I'll just kind of do that on both sides. That way if you ever are out on the trail or something like that and you got some tools, you won't have to fight this whole little loop right there. So, just to kind of give you a heads up. I was starting to get a feel for it. I'm like, I think that's it. So it wasn't even getting loose, it was just twisting. Alright, so now that we have the rear shocks and the sway bar end links removed and out of the way, The next step we are going to do is remove or loosen the rear panhard bar, the stabilizer bar right here. Loosen that, the upper control arm and the lower control arm on both sides, and then we are going to lower the whole differential and wiggle these coil springs out of the way. All right, now that we have the lift springs installed, the next step that we are going to do is basically the reverse order, where we will compress the springs by lifting up the rear differential housing, and then we'll continue on by tightening the rear panhard bar and tightening the upper and lower control arms. And then the next step is installing the shocks and reinstalling the sway bar end links. And then we'll move on to the front. All right, so now that we are done with the rear of the vehicle, we're going to move on to the front. With this Lexus, they have a automatic stiffness control to switch between comfort and sport. And so what we are going to do is eliminate this control right here for that stiffness that's automatically push button inside the vehicle. We'll undo the upper control arm. We'll undo the sway bar and the end link right here. We'll pull the brake caliper off and kind of hang that out of the way. And then what we'll do is remove the axle nut right here and kind of pop the axle back a little bit so we can pull the brake and rotor off. From there, we will undo the strut right here, and we're going to pull that whole unit out, and we're going to slide the new unit back in. So let's get started. This is the ABS wheel speed sensor. Alright, so now that we have the old strut out of place, we are going to now install the new Toytec front strut. We've got a slot right here and then not a slot right here, and the slot will always go towards the front of the vehicle.
drives good.
Hey guys, so all in all on the installation of the lift kit, it went very well. It went very smooth. We didn't run into any problems. Toytec did a great job engineering this lift kit for the Lexus. It gave the vehicle way better handling, more performance, and it's just a better ride all around. I hope you liked the video. If you can, please like and share the video. Our Facebook page is Pinnacle Automotive. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks.